Welcome everyone to the fourth day of Vigyan Sarvatra Pujyate program, in which we are celebrating our independence, Azadi ka Amrit Mahotsav, and also we are also celebrating National Science Week. And as a part of the program, today we are having a lecture from Professor Elora Sain from National Brain Research Center, Department of Biotechnology, Minister of Science and Technology, Manesar, Haryana. So I would like to give you a brief introduction about the speaker, then we will start with the lecture. She has done her BSc and MSc from University of Calcutta in the year 91 and 93 respectively. Then she has obtained her PhD from Indian Institute of Chemical Biology, one of the pioneer institutes in India, from Jadavpur University. And then she did her MA from Indira Gandhi National Open University in the year 2015. She has postdoctoral experience. She was the research associate in Rutgers University, New Jersey, and then she was a postdoctoral research at Pennsylvania State University, College of Medicine, and then she was at different positions starting from scientist 3 and assistant professor in National Brain Research Center, and presently she was scientist and professor since 2nd January 2018, and she was in receipt of several honors and awards like Novartis Oration Award from Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) in the year 2018. She was elected as Fellow West Bengal Academic Sciences in the year 2017, and she was awarded the prestigious Milstein Travel Award from International Cytokine and Interference Society (ICIS) in the year 2017 and as well as 2019. She was the receiver of Kshanika Oration Award from Indian Council of Medical Research in the year 2016. Then she has received President's Award from Indian Society of Neuro-Oncology, ISNO, in the year 2016. She was also elected Fellow, National Academy of Sciences in the year 2014. And she has received National Bioscience Award in the year 2013. And then she was also elected as member of Goa Research Conference in the year 2012. And she was also in receipt of several other awards, including NASIS Scopus Young Scientist Award and Shakuntala Amirchand Award from again Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) in the year 2019. She was also the Innovative Young Biotechnologist Award from Department of Biotechnology, Government of India in the year 2007. And she has also published several research papers in several reputed journals, and she has also holding patents. She was granted a patent in the year 2013, and now currently she is engaging two research projects, and she recently has completed 6 research projects. And she was also in training of the manpower. She was awarded 10 PhD degrees, and currently 4 students were registered for PhD under her guidance. And she was also having postdoctoral fellows working with her. Five people are working for postdoctoral fellowship, and then 4 MSc students are also working under her. And apart from this, she is also doing several outreach programs, and in view of those outreach programs, so she is doing some lectures and other programs under STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. And I would like to once again welcome our chief guest, Professor Sain. Ma'am, welcome back to Pujyate Science again, and please, over to you.
Thank you for the very kind introduction, and I shall get started.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay. Are the slides visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They are visible.
Okay. Okay. So I'll get started, and as you have already mentioned that our government has taken a wonderful initiative to commemorate the 75th year of our independence, and what is a better way than to showcase our achievements in science and technology in the last 75 years. So the government has come up with this very innovative idea where to showcase the science, technology and innovation in a pan-India program. And this, the rightly mentioned, Mr. Srinivasan, this is the Vigyan Sarvatra Pujyate. This is a festival for the scope for all to see how our science has progressed and what is our achievement to showcase the science, and we this program for the week-long program from 22nd to the 20th of February will showcase all the history of Indian science, science literature, Swadeshi inventions and innovations, and what are the milestones in the modern science, and what we try to achieve in the next 25 years. So these programs will be held at 75 locations across the country, and I think with that note, I would that this paves a way for a self-reliant India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our country has a long and glorious history of science and technology, be it in the field of astronomy, be it in the field of technology, architecture, metallurgy. The Indian soil has a rich tradition of very scientific culture and technological culture, including our Indian men of medicine who have utilized the wealth of knowledge of the indigenous herbs and plants to make potent therapeutics for several incurable diseases. And given our Indian tradition of Ayurveda, today I would like to focus on this the wealth that is in the traditional Ayurveda, and to show how we can share this knowledge, this vast knowledge, for the betterment of humanity, for mankind. And today we will discuss about what Ayurveda is and how it can contribute to modern medicine. The word Ayurveda is nothing but Ayur is life and Veda is science, the science of life. And what it talks about is the Ayurveda वो विज्ञान है जो जीवन के लिए हितकारी और अहितकारी दोनों ही है, पथ्य है और अपथ्य है, जीवन जीने का एक शैली है, रोगों के से बचाव के तरीके और रोगों के उपचार के उपायों को ज्ञान कराता है। तो हिताहितम सुखम दुःखम आयु सत्य हितहितम मानम च तत्त्वत्वत्तम Ayurveda Swa Uchyate. So Ayurveda is a holistic view of life. It takes all aspects of life into its ambit. So this is the genesis, how we can trace back Ayurveda 5000 BC or even previous to that. And we find is mentioned in Atharva Veda, Ajurveda. About its compilation in the Charak Samhita, internal medicine, which is discusses about internal medicine, all the Shrushruta Samhita, which talks about surgery, these are the classical texts of Ayurveda. And to the audience who are not aware of the major disciplines of Ayurveda will be surprised that even so many centuries ago, we had idea about the Sharira Rachana or anatomy, of Sharira Kriya, that is physiology. We have the idea of Prasuti Tantra, obstetrics, of gynecology. We have Shalya Tantra or surgery. Even we were aware of the Manasa Roga or psychiatry. So with this Ayurveda, we should be proud that we had such a system, the knowledge which which had these in the different aspects of the human health and welfare. I will be talking very basically about Ayurveda today, and I'm not an Ayurvedic physician, but the work that we do at NPRC touches about some of the basic principle of Rasayana in Ayurveda. So Ayurveda defines a combination of Sharira, the body, the Indriya, the sense organ, the Sattva, the mind, and the Atma, the soul. So, and you will understand that each individual person, each of us have a unique identity. We have a different uniqueness in terms of our biological constitution, the biochemical, the physiological constituent, and whose disarray or disruption can lead to various kind of illnesses. So the main objective of Ayurveda, as mentioned by Charaka, is nothing to protect the Sharira, the whole body mind complex of the healthy individual, and to prevent diseases as well as to eliminate disorders in a disease condition. So basically it looks into the whole thing as a package. The Sharir, Indriya, Sattva, Atma is a holistic treatment, is the hallmark of Ayurveda. So what are the basic principles of Ayurveda? Roga Vigyan, the causes of disease. The Vikrita Vigyan, how the disease progresses. And the Chikitsa Vigyana, which is nothing but how are the therapeutic modalities. Today I will talk about the Rasayana therapy. What is Rasayana? Ras means the essence, and Ayan means to the flow. Therefore, this Rasayana deals with the acquisition or the circulation of nutrients or the essence which is needed by the different tissues of the body, the dhatus as they call in Ayurveda, and this encompasses the concept of rejuvenation of not only the physical health but also the mental health. So Rasayanas are a group of medicinal plants which have been described by Ayurveda for rejuvenation, anti-aging, immunomodulatory properties. A very classic example is a Chyawanprasha, which is a combination of medicinal plants. And based on our ancient knowledge of Rasayana, modern science have developed several lead molecules which have significant therapeutic activities. But when we talk of Ayurveda, and as I was talking, that they treat in a holistic way, mind-body complex. And depending upon the primary body constitutions, there are the different traits are called the Prakriti. The Prakriti are governed by these three doshas. The three doshas are constituted by the Panchabhutas. And what are the Panchabhuta? Akasha, the Vayu, the Agni, Jala, the Prithvi. And these are the three doshas, as you can see here. It can be the Vata dosha, composed of what? Akasha, Vayu. The Kapha dosha you find here with this Agni dosha, Agni. And then you have the Pitta dosha, is again the Jala and the Prithvi. And if you see it clearly, there is an intersection, that is a three dosha. And this three dosha, it makes up some our primary body. Now the kinetic of the vata constitutes the kinetic, the movement, pitta, the metabolism, then the kapha, the structural or the stability of the body. Now, Ayurveda lays emphasis on this, that the vata, pitta, kapha are the three doshas of the body, and the perfect balance of these three doshas can lead to health, but the imbalance of these three doshas leads to diseases, and these imbalances of these doshas are influenced by this food and the lifestyle. So these are the different functions of these dosha, and Ayurveda clearly mentions, as I was mentioning, that the vata is movement, pitta is metabolism to burn, kapha is give structure or to stick, and you can see here also the time of the day where these are the predominant. In the morning, now as we are talking, the pitta dosha is predominant, the metabolism is predominant, and later in the evening it will be the kapha, early in the morning, in the late afternoon it will be again the vata. So there are different functions of the dosha, and depending upon how perfectly these three doshas are in balance, there is a homeostasis that it leads to perfect health. But wherever there is an imbalance, there is disease. Now I will introduce you to something that we all heard in, nowadays we hear it everywhere after the COVID, something called inflammation. It's all there on, you can see on the TV, the radio, that is inflammation. And what is inflammation? How the body's immune cells are trying to protect the body against toxins, infections, pathogen by promoting the tissue repair and the recovery. Now, if you look into this diagram, you will find that this chronic inflammation is a chronic trigger. This inflammation that is in the body is a chronic trigger by fear, that is chronic infection, physical inactivity, obesity, a disruption of the intestinal homeostasis, then diet, psychological state, then your disturbed sleep, your pollution, hazardous waste products, industrial chemicals, they all constitute that is chronic inflammation in the body. And this can disrupt the homeostasis of the body, the well-being of the body, leading to your diseases. Ayurveda describes inflammation as shotha, or where it is characterized by pain, redness, swelling, heat, loss of function. Ayurveda separates shotha into two groups. One is nija, as you can understand from the word nija, that is the cell. It can be more like vataja, pittaja, the kaphaja, that is the three doshas. Or it can be from the external sources like infection, for example, krimi, visha, that is poison, toxicity, dahana, that is bird, or himavata, which is a change in the climate, can causes inflammation, change in the shotha. Now, a modern medicine also considers inflammation. But how does it consider inflammation? It considers inflammation not just as a symptoms, but interestingly, Ayurveda treats inflammation as not only as a symptoms of disease, but as an independent disease as well as a complication of disease. But over the recent few decades of scientists working on cancer biologists like myself, we acknowledge that inflammation is a very important part of tumor development. But from this slide, you will understand our man of medicine, our physician, the people who wrote about this Ayurvedic text knew that the process of cancer development from how this malignancy progresses, how this heart tumor, how it metastasizes, how it becomes ulcerative, how it is a secondary metastasis, which modern science are now recognizing in this year, in the coming, in this age, that how inflammation can give rise to pre-malignant cell, how it gives rise to malignant cell, how it forms in advanced tumors, and how it can metastasize or spread to different parts of the bodies to give rise to full-blown cancer. But our Ayurveda had known about this, benign malignant, benign tumor or malignant tumor, their metastasis along centuries, even thousands of years back. So that is the beauty of Ayurveda. We have this knowledge which the modern science is now finding out from their recent current modern experiments. The important challenges in modern medicine in the treatment of cancer, that they only treat one particular symptoms, okay, but these particular symptoms can, though they may seem in different people, cause of the symptoms might vary in different people depending upon their genetic makeup, their biochemical makeup, their psychological makeup, their whole constitution. Therefore, modern science is now thinking about something like a personal therapy, depending upon the patient, depending upon his bodily constituent or the origin of cancer, they are trying to give him a medicine which is a personal medicine, something Ayurveda had known 5,000 years back, as I was telling you, depending upon the prakriti of the patient, depending upon the imbalance of the dosha, Ayurvedic physician used to prescribe medicine, because now modern science are recognizing that no two patients, no two cancers are alike. Now they are recognizing that each patient deserves a personalized therapy, something Ayurveda had known a long time before, that depending upon the prakriti of patient, your medicine should be prescribed. So Ayurveda for cancer treatment use not only the spiritual approach, not only the cure of the disease, but restoration for the overall health. Okay, and what Ayurvedic treatment, as I was mentioning, it is a holistic treatment. They take into account not only the rasayana, panchakarma, but also meditation, yoga, pranayama, because many of these disorders have a psychosomatic basis, because Ayurveda strongly believes that the mind is the control of your physical health. Therefore, only your taking care of your physical well-being will not help. You need to take care of your overall, your psychological well-being. So in Ayurvedic treatment, it takes into care your physiologic, your psychology, the whole mind-body complex, which modern medicine doesn't do. And that is why modern cancer therapy is nowadays thinking that yes, we will take into account the personalized therapy, that each individual is different and that should be taken into consideration. Whereas Ayurveda strongly recognizes custom therapy based on the prakriti of that individual, how the three doshas are disrupted in a particular individual, and which will vary from individual to individual. Okay. Now, Ayurveda takes into account something called combinatorial or multi-targeted therapy. Most of us who have taken Chyawanprasha or any other Ayurvedic preparation will see that all the constituent is just not one product. We have a combination of compounds. And why did our learned masters of medicine use one combination of compound? Because one compound has been shown to potentiate the effect of other, increase the bioavailability, or even reduce the toxicity of other compound. So that's why Ayurveda uses a multi-targeted combinatorial compound, and recent medicine have found out that curcumin, which is present in our haldi, becomes more effective if you use the constituent of kala mirch or the black pepper, the constituent of piperine, which increases the bioavailability. So the ability of curcumin to function in a system is increased several folds if you take it along with black pepper. So these are the therapies that our the physicians for 5,000 years back knew, that a combinatorial multi-targeted therapy. So this is something that we have done in a lab at my National Brain Research Center at Haryana. We have found that gugulsterol, which is a compound which is prescribed by Ayurveda in the treatment of cholesterol or obesity, we have found that it can be also used, in the treatment of induced death of brain cancer cells when it is used in combination of another compound. So what I'm trying to showcase is that Ayurveda emphasizes that compounds should be used in combination, because one compound can not only affect the bioavailability of the other, increase the potential of other, but at the same time it reduces the toxicity. That combination can be used to prevent cure the imbalances of the dosha. So you can see I am mentioning only a few Ayurvedic drugs which in modern medicine have shown that yes, they have a beneficial potential. For example, everybody have heard about the curcumin, or which is active ingredients of haldi. Which have been shown to have anti-arthritic effect, anti-inflammatory effect. We have heard about Brahmi, which is used as antihistamine. We have heard about Google, which I just talked about, is anti-inflammatory. We have heard about ashwagandha. It is used as an immunomodulatory in the treatment of neurological disorder. This we have already known, Ayurveda have known, but modern medicine, through their new experimentation, are proving the same thing in a new way. So Ayurvedic medicine, modern medicine have identified novel anti-inflammatory agents from Ayurvedic medicine for the prevention of chronic diseases and the therapy and the treatment of inflammation as well as cancer. So using the modern scientific approaches, we have been able to show these are the active ingredients which have been in the Ayurvedic medicine, which can prevent chronic diseases, inflammation and cancer. So this is what we have learned about inflammation or Shotha, which is one important factor in many diseases. Now I will talk about Shotha in the context of COVID. Now remember, I have said that Shotha can be Nija Shotha depending upon the bodily constituent, or it can be the Agantuja, that is from the outside. For example, is the infection. Now COVID is also an infection, a virus that what does it affect? It affects the lungs. And we all of us know that whole world, the pandemic, how it has affected the whole world in terms of, it has shut down our regular functioning, and it has been so much, taken so many lives, and it has stalled our progress definitely in the last 2 years. So what coronavirus does, it infects the lungs, and I will explain to you in a very simple way that when it infects the cells of the lungs, the virus not only kills the lung cells, but it also causes inflammation, that it causes the release of cytokines, a particular chemical which builds up inflammation. So just remember, cytokines are chemicals released by the cells of the body that causes inflammation. So this virus, when it infects the lung cells, it not only kills the lung cells, but it causes the release of inflammatory mediators or chemicals called the cytokines, which kinds of builds up a huge cytokine storm in the lungs. Now the question is that this uncontrolled inflammation in the lungs can not only result in lung injury and subsequently mortality and death in COVID infection. Remember, there was this phase in 2021. There were our citizens were facing severe condition or called hypoxia. They were deprived of oxygen, flow of oxygen, adequate flow of oxygen to the lungs, and this all resulted from severe damage to the lung, resulting from uncontrolled inflammatory responses in the lungs, as well as hypoxia, deprived oxygen, as well as death of the lung cell. So the question was, are there any anti-inflammatory drugs? So this was a question that we asked them. Are there any anti-inflammatory drugs that prescribed in Ayurveda that could be used to improve the mortality and prevent this cytokine storm or this hyperinflammation? And can that be used for the treatment of this cytokine storm? And luckily for us, Ayurveda had a long time ago prescribed something for respiratory illnesses. And what is this? Which is called Jashti Madhu or Pujyate. Very predominant in northern India. काढ़ा में डालते हैं, काढ़ा में यूज करते हैं सर्दी के मौसम में, वो एस्मा के लिए, जुकाम के लिए यूज किया जाता है. प्लेटी ऐसा ही दवा है that जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ आयुष, जो आयुर्वेदा, यूनानी, सिद्धि एंड homeopathy, which Ministry of Ayush prescribe करता है for anti-inflammatory and antiviral. But besides that, this Muleti is also used for prevention of hepatitis B virus. So therefore, we questioned whether we can use Yeti Madhu in the preventing the cytokine storm and preventing the viruses from killing the lung cells. And this is so this Muleti, the active ingredients of the Muleti is, the name of Muleti in scientific literature is Glycyrrhiza glabra, and the active constituent is glycyrrhizin. जैसा कि हल्दी का नाम है curcumin, and curcumin का active ingredients है curcumin, and curcumin, just like that, glycyrrhiza का active ingredient has glycyrrhizin, and glycyrrhizin has been used युगों से आयुर्वेद में यूज किया जाते थे. तो आपके रेस्पिरेटरी प्रॉब्लम, सांस के प्रॉब्लम के लिए, शोथा के लिए हमने देखना चाहा कि हम ये मुलेटी का जो एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट है glycyrrhizin, वो हम यूज कर सकते हैं फॉर ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द शोथा, जो ओवर एक्टिव हो जाती है इन्फ्लेमेशन, वो बंद करने के लिए. तो हमने क्या किया? तो हमने जो लंग सेल्स को, वायरस को जो प्रोटीन है, वो प्रोटीन से हमने ट्रीट किया. एंड हमने देखा ये लंग सेल्स को वायरल प्रोटीन के साथ ट्रीट करने से जो होता है, वो जो साइटोकाइन्स मैंने बताया जो शोथा को बढ़ा देते, वो कई गुना बढ़ गया, हजारों गुना बढ़ गया. और हमने क्या देखा, ये यष्टि मधु का जो एक्टिव इंग्रेडिएंट ग्लाइसिराइजिन डालने से वो जो शोथा हो रहे थे लंग सेल्स में, वो बिल्कुल ही कम हो गया. तो वो यष्टि मधु, so this is we are showing in modern medicine using modern scientific techniques in the lab, glycyrrhizin can reduce inflammation considerably in the context of COVID-19. So That's ग्लाइसिडाइजिन, अगर मैंने लंग सेल में ग्लाइसिडाइजिन डाल दिया, अगर लंग सेल नॉर्मल लंग सेल्स में डाल दिया और लंग सेल खुद ही मर गया, तो हमारा पर्पस तो डिफीटेड हो जाएगा. So what we did is we treated normal lung cells with glycidizin and we found that glycidizin का बिल्कुल कोई toxicity नहीं है. So we are absolutely sure that glycidizin does not have any toxicity on the normal lung cell. सिर्फ उसका जो effect है, it has only on the lung cells that are infected with the virus. And we have shown that the Jashti Madhu, we took real virus, we took real COVID virus and SARS-CoV-2 virus, transfected the cells with the virus, treated with the glycidizin, and we found that when virus can kill the lung cells, when you treat with the virus, they kill the cells, but when you come back with glycidizin, those cells are protected from virus death. And at that time, remdesivir was a prescribed drug for SARS-CoV-2 patient, and we found that glycidizin has the same efficacy. Glycidizin was able to prevent inflammation to the same extent as remdesivir. It was able to protect cell to the same extent. So what I want to tell you that Yashti Madhu is a wonderful remedy for COVID-19, and ये हमारा आयुर्वेद ने प्रूफ किया कि हमारा जो यष्टि मधु है protective not only to prevent inflammation, but it also protects the lung cells from damage by the virus. तो ये जो आर्टिकल हमारा आए थे, हमने इसको साइंटिफिक जो आर्टिकल्स आते थे वो हमको पब्लिश करना पड़ता है, एंड इट गॉट अ बहुत वाइड कवरेज मिला इसको. नेचर इंडिया ने ये पब्लिश करके बताया कि हर्बल कंपाउंड कैन स्टॉप corona inflammation, and this herbal drug ये डेक्कन हेरल्ड जो साउथ इंडिया में बहुत पॉपुलर एक न्यूज़पेपर है, उन्होंने दिखाया हमारा जो काम है वो शोकेस किया था. दिस यष्टि मधु कैन बी used as a novel therapeutic for COVID-19. ये हमारा पानीपत के दैनिक भास्कर के न्यूज में आए, और ये आया है मराठी न्यूज में आया है, बंगाल के न्यूज़पेपर में आया है. हम लोग ये दिखाना चाहा है कि हमारे आयुर्वेद नहीं है हमारा कोरोना का इलाज. आयुर्वेदा is now Ayurvedic constituent has potential for the treatment of corona by inhibiting the inflammation and by preventing the virus-induced death. So this is what Ayurveda already knows, but modern science needs to prove it. If I go and tell everybody that corona पीने से ये हो जाएगा, but nobody will believe me. People has believed this only जब हमने science करके इसको बता दिया through modern scientific validation. So this is what is needed now, that only scientific validation of Ayurvedic drugs is absolutely essential, ताकि हम globally हम बोल सकते हैं कि yes, we can. The Ayurveda has potential and it should have therapeutic, preventive purposes, and we have to do the experiments in the light of modern scientific experiment, and we have to combine the knowledge that is already there in Ayurveda together with the modern science, modern medicines, and then only we will be very helpful in giving not only our country but the world as a whole new ideas, new molecules for the betterment of better health. And when there is health, as we know, health, there is wealth. And in the context of the Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav, Ministry of Ayush ने वो जो expo करके रखा है, ये विज्ञान सर्वत्र पुज्यते, displaying the benefits that we are basically Ayurveda is a gold mine, हम gold mine पे बैठे हैं. We just have to explore the gold mine using modern scientific technique so that the world becomes aware of our traditional knowledge and to understand that our medicine, our knowledge of traditional medicine is really rich. But it is up to us that we have to show it to the entire world how, and we can do by only coming in a very good collaboration with modern science and modern medicines. So once again, before I end, I will say that Ayurveda believes that the mind, body and soul are not separate entities. They come together and they together form something which is called our life. And if one is not balanced, the other cannot be functioning properly. That's why a new area in modern medicine is coming up, which deals with psychosomatic disorders. Psycho means the mind, somatic means the body. So this body-mind connection we have known from a long time, that these three have to come together for the proper functioning of our whole body. With that, I can say these are the basic principle of Ayurveda. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani paschyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, for those who don't know why we say Shanti 3 times, Shanti, one Shanti for the body, one Shanti for the mind, and one Shanti for Atma. So with that, Namaste, and this is the beautiful place at NBRC Manesar from the Vigyan Ratna Award, which I will receive on the 20th of this month on the Science Day. I am thankful to the Haryana government for acknowledging and recognizing my contribution to science. कितना छोटा भी ना हो, उन्होंने recognize किया मेरा science चाहे कितना भी small ना हो, but that recognition means a lot to me, and I am thankful to to the government for इस आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव में मुझे एक मौका दिया हमारा साइंस को शोकेस करने के लिए, and giving me the opportunity to project my work to the audience. मुझे उम्मीद है कि एक दिन मुझे कुरुक्षेत्र में जाने के लिए मौका मिलेगा, आने का मौका मिलेगा और ऑडियंस के साथ इंटरेक्ट करके और भी शेयर करने की, और जो अच्छे साइंस हमारे एनबीआरसी में हो रहा है. With that, I would like to thank you all. Namaste. Thank you.
धन्यवाद मैडम.
धन्यवाद. हाँ.
सबसे पहले तो कुरुक्षेत्र पैनोरमा एंड विज्ञान केंद्र अपनी ऑडियंस के साथ आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद देता है कि आपको विज्ञान रत्न अवार्ड 28 तारीख को मिलने जा रहा है, तो उसके लिए बहुत हार्दिक बधाइयाँ.
और मैं हरियाणा सरकार की आभारी हूँ.
जी जी. और कुरुक्षेत्र पैनोरमा एंड विज्ञान केंद्र अपने दर्शक आपके भी बहुत आभारी हैं जो आयुर्वेदा को इतने आसान शब्दों में जान पाए और ये भी जान पाए कि जो कोरोना वायरस है उसका ट्रीटमेंट हमारे वेदास में बहुत पहले से है और हम उसको बहुत अच्छी तरीके से सभी लोगों में पहुंचा सकते हैं और उसको अपने आप को सभी लोग मतलब स्वस्थ रह सकते हैं, हमेशा स्वस्थ रह सकते हैं आयुर्वेदा का उपयोग करके. तो ये बात बहुत आसानी से आपने हम सबके बीच में पहुंचा दी और बहुत हम आपके बहुत ही आभारी हैं कि इतने सरल शब्दों में आपने सब कुछ हमें समझाया. तो कुरुक्षेत्र पैनोरमा एंड विज्ञान केंद्र की तरफ से आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. और जितेंद्र कुमार इंतजार करूंगा आपका कि आप कुरुक्षेत्र आए और हमको और लाभान्वित करें। धन्यवाद।
जरूर मैं आऊंगी
जी, थैंक
आई
यू।
विल लुक फॉरवर्ड टू इट।
जी जी, धन्यवाद मैडम, थैंक यू।
अगर ऑडियंस का कुछ क्वेश्चंस है तो मैं ले सकती हूँ क्वेश्चंस।
जी, ऑडियंस का कोई क्वेश्चन है, प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स। एनीबॉडी हु वांट टू टॉक विद मैम? थैंक यू मैडम, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर। नमस्ते।
नमस्कार, नमस्कार। नाउ वी लीव।
यस प्लीज।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
सर इसमें क्या करना है आगे? इसमें क्या करना है? या तो सर को बुला लो एक बार, कौन सा बटन दबाना है, कहीं कुछ उल्टा पुल्टा हो।
हाँ हाँ, बहुत अच्छा लगा और अभी ऑडियंस को भी काफी पसंद आया। बहुत जी जी। हाँ, यस यस, बिल्कुल मैडम। एक्चुअली we do a lot of programs like that, so different speakers are coming to present here presentation, so definitely in some occasion I will call to you. That is, yes. Actually, our audience is from class 8 to 12, so that is more represent. वही है। बेस्ट पार्ट यही है कि आयुर्वेदा को सब लोग जानते भी नहीं है, सब मॉडर्न मेडिसिन की तरफ जा रहे हैं, तो उसको वो समझ पाए कि कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है आज ये आयुर्वेदा हमारा। जी जी। हाँ, यस आई टू। यस, हाँ, विल मीट मैम, विल मीट। ओके, थैंक यू।
क्या दबाना? कौन सा बटन दबाना है?
उसका तो प्रेजेंटेशन गया ना। बस ठीक, यही थी। हाँ, बस फिर हमारी कॉल। नहीं, बस वही।
तो शेयर चाहिए और तो कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, बट अगर कुछ गलत होगा फिर खराब हो जाएगी सारी।
all know, a mega expo and engineering fair is being held at Kurukshetra Panorama and Science Center as a part of National Science Week celebration. This is being known as Vigyan Sarvatra Pujyate, that started from the February 22nd and that will be up to February 28th. This event is being held as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and will have 5 themes, that is Annals of Science, Milestones of Modern Science and Technology, Swadeshi Paralympic, Parampararic Inventions and Innovations, Transforming India and Being Out Stories of People in Science. Kurukshetra Panorama and Science Center have been planned various events like popular science lecture, engineering fair, science book fair, science drama contest, science film show, allocation contest for all 7 days to aim science popularization among the masses and children in particular. So this week-long Vigyan